Okay. All right, we live.
Okay.
All right. Well, yes, I wanted to do this video today. This wasn't anything that was planned. I just met this young lady just a few minutes ago, Monica.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
And I wanted to, she just told me something very powerful. And, it's often that people come and they tell me their story. So with our modern media and technology, I've been making more, I've been more intentful on documenting and recording because I think people need to hear these things and need to, she's willing to share her story or a little bit of it anyway. And so you said your name is Monica?
Yes, my name is
Monica. And so tell them what you told me.
Okay, I just stopped in to get something to eat, and I thought I would share. At the end of September, I came down with Bell's palsy.
September of this year.
September of this year. As a matter
okay,
of fact,
explain what Bell's palsy is, because I didn't even know what that was.
Bell's palsy is when half of your face gets paralyzed.
You may need to speak up. So.
Okay, it's when half of your face gets paralyzed. It can be painful, and it usually lasts somewhere between 3 weeks to 6 months. It's about an 80% full recovery. 20% do not recover from this. And like I said, it can be painful.
So what's the minimum time that people usually come out of it?
It's about 3 weeks.
3
from
weeks.
What I saw, an average of 3 weeks. If you go to the doctor, they'll give you a steroid shot and I think it's some kind of a immunization type shot, penicillin or something of that nature.
Okay.
But when I did some reading,
do like an antibiotic? They do stuff like that,
that's what I mean. Antibiotic.
Antibiotic. Okay.
Yeah, they give you an antibiotic and steroids. And from what I read, it's really not guaranteed. It's like a shot in the dark in what they're doing. So I chose to go natural instead of taking any medication.
Now, natural could mean, that means a lot to a lot of different people. What was natural for you?
So for me, I went down to a very raw food diet. I had been eating meat. I know the repercussions of eating meat. So because I knew, and then I knew immediately what I needed to do. And so,
well, it's not so much because meat is just one part.
Oh, I was eating it all.
Okay. I just want to be clear because
fried, cooked,
just your standard, typical, everyday garbage.
Yes. I was eating it on a regular basis.
Okay.
And knew because I would fluctuate. I kind of fluctuate between diets. So I immediately started drinking coconut water.
I have could you talk?
I could speak, but this side of my lip was completely straight. I had no control of the upper lip.
What about your eye?
People told me, it felt like I was closing it, but people told me I wasn't.
But could you see out of that eye?
I could see out of the eye, but my first
Could you move the eye?
My first symptom is it felt like it was sleep in my eyes.
Wow.
What it was is that I wasn't closing my eyes, so I was getting dry patches.
Okay.
And that was my first symptom.
Okay.
And then I was very tired.
Okay.
I was very tired. Like I said, it was about the 19th. It was my birthday, so I was kind of in the midst of celebrating every day.
Of September?
Of September.
All right. Happy belated.
It was my 50th.
Oh.
Yes. So I was very excited about that.
Okay.
And so I was going around celebrating.
Right.
And
over celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was actually out with my daughter-in-law, and she was the one who told me my eye wasn't closing.
Oh, man.
But I really didn't pay her any mind. I just whatever. You just missed it. I just blinked fast, And we just went on. But I started noticing.
Was this on your birthday?
I don't know I am looking at least, because I had video footage of me celebrating. So between the 22nd and the 23rd is when it came on.
Oh,
I got good pictures of me on the 22nd. And then on the 23rd, it came on. And I actually, because it was somewhat subtle, some people have problems with hearing. Some people have problems with their taste, sensitivity. I didn't have any of those problems. And I had to actually do video. And that's kind of how I started doing video on my page. And sharing, I said, okay, I'm going full in. I'm just going to share with what's going on with me. And I started doing video of myself and doing exercises and making myself laugh and trying to make that muscle work. And so, you know, it was days that I started recuperating, you know, and by the day 15, I was about where I say I stopped monitoring at 15. I was at least 95 to 98% returned. I could blink.
Well, when did you start? But what were you doing at this point? So you hadn't changed anything at this point.
So what I did a few things that I felt was common sense. It wasn't recommended by the doctor. I've not heard of this, and it doesn't make sense to me. But I put ice on my face in the areas in which the
Did you have
nerves.
pain?
I had no pain.
You had no pain.
I had no pain. I had all my sensitivity. But I would ice my face regularly. I did feel some sinus pressure. I used to get migraines.
Okay.
So I did feel sinus pressure, and I noticed very subtle swelling under my eye. And so I did also notice when I iced myself, as it was going away, I started noticing when I put ice in my nasal cavity, I could feel it open. So I knew it was working. Another unconventional thing, I don't know.
And the doctors don't recommend ice?
I have not heard anybody. I went into the groups on Facebook. I've not heard anyone even think about using ice. It seems odd if it's inflammation. Why not put ice on it? You know.
So it was some swelling.
Well, that's what they say that it's roots in the brain, and kind of watching and traveling of where that nerve goes. It comes up behind the ear and comes back out and radiates like a finger. So I figured if it is under some kind of a trauma or something, it's got to have some swelling, is what my logic was thinking, you know. And that's why I decided to put ice on it. I mean, if they're using steroids or something, there's some kind of inflammation, is what I was thinking, you know. So I did that, and I also got a copper rod from Home Depot, and I put that on me. I'm not sure, you know, but I've heard benefits of copper. You know, I'm still learning. And then I went into a full raw food diet, and you know, cut out the starches.
So what was that like? I mean, you talk about you were eating everything, and then you went raw.
Yeah.
So at what point? Well, how did you come to that decision? Number one.
Well, I've been learning little by little about the benefits. The repercussions of certain foods. It started for me with my dad. He was diagnosed with cancer and passed. And I learned about the anti-cancer diet at that time. And that's what got me started with learning about foods. I still got a long way to go, but you know, I learned a lot, and I rely a lot on my intuition to get me into things, and I kind of just look at commonsensical approaches that make sense with what I'm looking at, you know, and so that's how I make my decisions. The foods I've read can cause inflammation, so if I'm eating foods that's going to cause inflammation, I'm trying to fight the inflammation, it would make sense to me to detox and then stop taking in what causes the inflammation. So that's what was the reasoning behind my decision.
So at what point, you know, from when you knew what you what's it called again?
It's called Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy. So for those that don't know, that's when half of your face basically
is paralyzed.
Paralyzed. So at what day did you, from day one that you knew that you had this, to what day did you start eating raw? Well,
I think it was probably about day 3 that I really, you know, started realizing I had Bell's palsy, and somewhere between day 3 and day 5 is when I really started kind of making a real focused decision on just addressing it all and addressing it. I figured I took it kind of like a now or never approach. I want to be the 20% or the 80%, so I'll try for the 80.
Right. And then so you, the first day you came here?
Yes.
We're at my shop, Khepra's Raw Food Juice Bar. So we're in my office here on 8th Street. So she just again popped in and shared this story. I said we got to share this with the world. So you came here.
I came here.
Okay. And had you been here before?
I've come here. Yes.
Oh, you've been here before.
Yes.
Okay.
I come here, but like I said, I'm sporadic. You know.
Right. Right. As most of our customers are. Yeah.
But knowing what I needed to do, I wanted raw. I didn't want just vegan.
Now you did you come here every day, or did you kind of?
I kind of mixed it up.
Okay.
I didn't come here every day, but usually I get enough to last me.
Okay.
So
I mean, as we know, the food is very filling.
Yeah.
And but what I'm more interested in is when you say mix it up, like what do you because I always say like one of the keys to becoming and staying raw is to you got to become somewhat of a chef.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know how to make a good salad. So what was that like?
I will say I'm still a carry-out person. So,
okay.
I came here quite often.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad thing.
And a lot of times,
this is what we
like
do.
I said, the food would carry me over.
Right.
It also triggered a different type of eating habit for me, which you kind of already
okay,
I just got
so
your videos.
that.
I was sharing that, and so
what kind of eating habit?
Where I find it's funny because when you eat the real food, it holds you much longer.
Sure.
So I started into the habits of what I'm actually seeing in the videos that I'm learning now. And like I said, a lot of things for me is intuitive, and then I find out back learning that okay, this is right, or I might do something that isn't right, and I can kind of see that way. So my food clock started changing, and I wasn't as hungry, needing as much food all the time. Oh no, I take that back. I was needing to eat all the time throughout the day, but it was more snacking. I just didn't want to eat
now with your face, half of your
meals.
face being paralyzed, what was that like in terms of chewing the food? Did it affect your digestion in any way?
No, I did not have problems with eating the food. I did somewhat have a little bit of where people can have drooling or something of that nature, but I had more control, I think, than others. I know others that have it and still kind of have residual from it. But my biggest issue for me when I started exercising was because that was kind of the turning point for me. The left side was dead, and the right side, I learned you're used to moving asymmetrically. So when I would move my right side of my lip, it was used to pulling, but it wasn't used to pushing. So the hardest part for me was to force my right side to push to the left. Once I did that, it then, this is in my mind, triggered the muscles to move uniformly, because then I'm moving them together. What I couldn't do, I would
now
I
this
use
is
my hand.
this is when you're chewing.
This is when I'm moving, exercise. I
Oh,
was
when you're
constantly
exercising.
exercising my face.
Okay.
Chewing.
To try to basically wake it back up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, to get the muscles to because I'd say within 36 hours I had forgotten how to use the muscle.
Wow.
So I had to aid it with my hand.
Wow.
And constantly I was doing things to stimulate it. And then I liked the ice because it would remind me without my hand where this is, because I still had sensation. But actually remembering how to consciously make that muscle, because the more I was engaging, the muscles were getting used to working without the other one. So I really forgot real quick.
Okay.
That scared me, because I was like, I gotta remember how to make it move. But
so where was now you're eating raw foods every day. What was the turning point? Like
it was every day. It was
so every day you saw progress.
Yes, from the time, which was day 5, when I forced my right side to move left. The next thing that returned was the ridge of my lip. And once I knew my lip could curl, then I just I just kept going. And then little things like putting ice on my nasal passage and feeling it open, then I knew I was making progress. The last was right above my nose, like just the little area that curls wasn't curling, so I knew I needed to make that move to kind of. It was just little things.
Wow,
The very last thing was I didn't realize how bad my eye was not working.
Wow.
Where I couldn't hold my left eye closed if I had my right eye open without the assistance of my hand. And then when I could, the next problem was to be able to look straight on or look above with the same issue. So that was the very last. But like I said, by day 15, I pretty much had stopped counting. I knew it was just the formalities of just the last bit of coming in. So.
And this was just a few weeks ago.
Yep.
I would have never. I mean, you don't even. You're not using your hand.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm very happy.
Awesome. But talk about. You said you had purchased my DVD set.
I have purchased the set, and I'm actively studying.
Okay.
And I was sharing that I'm not really a cook. That's why I eat out a lot. Blending foods and how to make it taste. I'm just, I'm a party goer. I'm not a party host type of person. So I've learned so much, and I'm ready to dive in. But I've said to myself, I want to learn everything before I start buying stuff, and then deciding how I want to prepare. I've gone through right now I'm at the point of the salads and the dressings, so I'm ready to go out and do that. But what drew me was learning how to make the crust for that pizza. So.
Yes, I think I do perform that on the video.
Yes, I think so.
But you gotta work up to that. You gotta learn how to make salad first. Learn how to make some dressings, some sauces. And then, once you get that, then, but it's all relative, it's all simple.
Yeah.
But just like anything, you got to work and practice and build up.
Yeah.
But you've been doing it.
Yeah, I know for myself, if I can learn how to make that pizza, that's what's going to help me get off the starches. Because I'm a pizza lover, traditional pizza. I'm a crust person, so I'm picky about my crust. And I love sandwiches, so I've gotten off the cheese. I've gotten off milk. So, I figure if I can get to the pizza and the crust, although I'm definitely in for everything, that's why I want to do it in order, because I wanted to jump, but I'm doing it in order as far as the CDs are concerned.
All right.
But I know that once I can get to that, then I won't want the French fries. I won't want the pizza. I know how to supplement, like you said, which I'm learning, and look at it differently. The greens are a starch, which really just puts a different light on things. Your
vegetables are starches.
Yeah.
And there are what I call your good starches. We need starches. We just have to replace the bad ones with the good ones. But starch is necessary. But we, the cooked starch, the breads and the cereals and the pizza crust and the sandwich rolls and those things, what they do is they glue your body up, and something like Bell's palsy can happen because, again, that starch settles all throughout the body and it starts to shut things down. So that's what's, So it doesn't surprise me to say you definitely, being basically a starch addict.
Yes, I am.
As most people are, especially vegans and vegetarians. You because the thing is, it's like it's a false filler, and as a false filler, the mind it alters the blood so much. So what's altering the blood is altering us, the emotions. So, and then we start the day with it. With breakfast type foods, with pancakes and bagels and things like that. And so how we start the day is how we'll continue the day more than likely, with sandwiches and things of that nature. So these things over time will show themselves. And it's wicked because, as you said, like how many times now do you eat a day?
Probably, I'm really seeing, I'm eating all through the day, but I'm really falling into the schedule of, breakfast was a big deal for me, but I'm lazy, so I don't start my day till like afternoon,
Right?
something
No,
like that.
breakfast is the worst meal of the day. We don't want to break our fast prematurely, especially in the morning. The sensitive digestive lining, we don't want to bring in that starch, even that oatmeal and all that other kind of stuff. That's glue, and it creates a lot of mucus, and it basically zaps our energy. So so this is wonderful. Now my other concern, this has only been what, about a month?
Yeah.
Okay. So is this going to be, I mean, it may be premature for me to ask this, but is this going to be something that you continue, or will be a one-way street? Because, go ahead.
No, I mean, I've been dancing around it for a while.
Oh, okay.
I have a dehydrator.
Oh,
from being here
wonderful,
and seeing
wonderful.
it. It's a 10-shelf dehydrator.
There you go.
You know, I made kale chips. I've been playing around. I've gardened for the last couple of years. This year was an awful year for me.
Okay.
But, you know, I would garden and then I don't prepare the food.
Oh, Lord. Well, you know, one of the things that people always ask me, do I need to buy a dehydrator? Yes, you should buy a dehydrator. If you got a microwave, then you should have a dehydrator. Most people have a stove and a microwave.
Yes.
If you got those two things, get rid of those two things and get a dehydrator.
Yes.
That you know, along with, I mean, most people have a blender. I mean, you gotta make that investment.
Yeah, I was excited in the CD when I saw that you were showing how to use it, and it's not an overnight, because that was my other thing. It's like I don't want to be in the kitchen, and then I'm gonna have to be in the kitchen forever. Like, Grandma, oh baby, how you doing? Coming home from school?
No, there are a lot of tools.
You can do it
Right.
and just have your food. And I'm planning on all in. I'm changing my refrigerator layout to be able to just bring my food home, clean it, chop it up, have it ready, so when it's time, then I can just go get the ingredients, and just having a green refrigerator on a regular basis, where those are things that I'm going to have to replenish. I'm either going to eat it or it's going to go bad, so I'm going to have to get it on a regular basis. So that's my plan, and because I've been an eat-out person, my refrigerator is empty.
Okay.
You know, so that'll be a change. And my youngest son is 15, and I've been in and out enough that he's open-minded to this lifestyle. It's just,
Wonderful.
I felt a little kind of guilty, and that kind of brought me in, because it's like he goes with Dad and eats other foods, and then I'm like, well, I kind of know the craving, so that was my excuse to go back in. But he's never complained, you know, he likes the food, and I always check in with him to make sure it's not that I'm twisting his arm.
Okay.
So,
All right, so I'm curious, because I want to put you on blast a little bit. I'm so grateful that you agreed to do this, but I want to put you on blast. Like you said, you were an eat out kind of person. What's some of the, if you don't mind sharing, like what was your?
I'm not that far. Like I said, I've been
like what's some of the
already,
kind of places?
McDonald's was on
McDonald's.
the top of my
Oh
list.
Lord,
Yes,
Crackdonald's. Okay.
When I was around the time, so that was 15 years ago. At that time frame, I would go to McDonald's. And if it was a weekend, a lifetime weekend for me, or I would buy 10 apple pies. When I went,
so wait, Lifetime television?
Yes,
oh,
we want to be in for the weekend. 10 apple pies. Or French fries. I was a double supersized French fry girl.
Wow.
And I was a size 10. I wasn't really, I've been shapely so I could carry it,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
But, you know, I was fear of all that starch. Yes, give me some French fries all day long. Yeah, and some Coke. Yeah. So,
wow.
Because last year I made a decision that I was trying to get to a certain size by my 50th birthday. I wanted to revisit my six-pack.
Okay.
I started planking. So I had started coming back into eating healthy again. But I'd say I started eating bad again. It just kind of creeped up on me.
Well,
by my birthday, I was feeling it,
that's
so I was
what,
like, forget it.
you know. I've seen people make the commitment, but then maybe they'll commit for a year, and they feel so good.
That's what happened.
And you go back to what you know, and so that's what, again, like really being, you know, taking this on for the long haul. You know, because the thing is that obviously, yes, I can honestly say that, you know, I used to work at McDonald's. That was one of my first jobs as a teenager. I know how the food tastes. Yes, I mean, I certainly can't even fathom the thought of me eating that today. However, I can see how some people can revert back to some old habits.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm of course still on the fence as far as that, but I also know, because I have made the commitment before, that I know that it just takes the time to eat the right foods, and after a while the cravings go away.
Right, the cravings change.
Yeah, so you know, my goal is, like I said, I have a 15-year-old, and I'm going all in this time, which means that he's either coming with me, which is going to be something that'll have to be navigated between him and his dad, you know.
Sure.
But I also realize how this influences his lifestyle choices in the future. I'm giving him other options for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I always talk about, like any relationship, food is your first relationship, but then it sets the tone for all of your relationships, whether they be family, whether they be with your partner and mate. It sets the relationship with your community, because you know we're social beings, and you know, as you where you work, you know, there's office parties, and there's always food that's at the center of any of these things, especially family, and that can be probably the most daunting and difficult hurdle to cross is when you know. But the thing is like, for you, and this is why I'm really proud that you, because I think we have to put ourselves out there, make ourselves accountable. People are seeing you; they know what you look like. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that woman from you know. So you know, if we're just doing it and nobody is seeing us doing it, we don't let people know, we're probably not going to succeed. You know, so it's not to it's to promote in a healthy, balanced way, not in a braggadocious and egotistical way. Say, oh well, look at me and I'm so healthy and all this. No, it's like, look at me. You can be like me in terms of being healthy and being vibrant and not having health issues. So I just wanted to say that, and one of the things is that, you know, a year from now, 5 years from now, you know, we want to see you continue and make this a lifelong commitment.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
The plan is also to try to influence the grandkids. So, you know, as I was telling you, my granddaughter's mom is open. So the goal is to make baby food and, you know, help out with that.
Awesome.
So hopefully she won't have any of the commercial food in her system. She's nursing, so she's getting some of that from mom now.
Right.
But, you know, we've been talking, so I'm going to see how much I can put my foot in the door and get that. You know. All
right. Well, and then also too, for children, I'm a very huge anti-vaccine proponent. Yeah. So we got to really educate ourselves, do the research, find out the danger of these vaccines. So if you know, any of you expecting mothers, pregnant, or if you have young children, when I was a child, and I'm sure even lesser for you, you're a little older than me, again, you know, you may have a few vaccines. Now, I mean, they got all kind of cocktails. Yes, they got all these kind of cocktails. They were dangerous back then. If they're dangerous back then, they're dangerous now. It's the same with the food. You know, the junk food of yesterday is not the same as the junk food of today. Yeah. Our children and our children's children, grandchildren, can't get away with doing the things that we did. You know, for those of us that are in 40s and 50s, they can't get away with what we did. It's everything has been very much compromised, denatured, devalued. It's not. It wasn't food then. So if it wasn't food then, it's certainly very far from its original. Or again, these things are not even. These things are created in labs, and things of that nature. So, so yes.
I was just going to say that. I mean, even with the seeds,
right?
You can't even go out and just buy seeds and put them in the ground because they've been tampered with, you know. So it's scary for me. It's funny because I've always had a love-hate relationship with food, and as I learn more, and as I say, I'm a bit intuitive, I kind of understand, because I would go through grocery stores sometimes and just go row by row and be like, I don't want this stuff, and I didn't understand why at the time. It's like, everything. But the first epiphany about food not being food was when I would go to the cheese section, and I started reading the American cheese food products or something of that nature. It doesn't say cheese, it says cheese food, and the only place I could get real cheese was at the deli. So those were like little steps for me that was seeing that the food wasn't food. But it wasn't until recently that I'm starting to have the epiphany of why I go through the grocery store and look at the food with the test sometimes.
Right.
I didn't understand why I was doing that.
So you shared that you have a blog you want to share?
I have a fan page.
Okay.
So my fan page
is on Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
Okay.
It's I am Mluv, MLUV.
Okay.
And on my page, for me, I'm focused on helping people be successful.
Sure.
And so that is in personal development, in health, in business. As for me, I invest in real estate, so a lot of it is real estate based. But
awesome.
Just starting a business and understanding that mindset instead of the traditional of going to school, getting a college degree, not knowing what to do with the degree, and having the debt behind it. You know, putting action behind how you can understand. A lot of our kids, if they understood this path, college is not a choice if you're not going to exercise a degree. So it's a lot of that stuff that I go on,
wow.
you know, with that.
I got to go in there. Okay,
yeah.
Wonderful. All right, well, I want to thank you again. Again, this was very impromptu, and but it's all in divine sequence. So I just want to thank you again. Tell me your name again.
My name is Monica.
Monica.
Yep, Monica.
Very much.
Nice to meet you.
Very pleasure to meet you, and I want to thank you again for coming. So thank y'all for watching and tuning in. If you got any questions for me, just comment, and I will reply when I can. All right. One love. Peace.
Thanks.